We're walking into the theater right now. Gonna see the Emoji Movie. Now, I am absolutely dreading this, but for some reason...
I am really excited.
I have no idea why.
Because cringe height.
I don't think this movie's going to be so bad
I think
that it's good, though. I think it's going to be...
just bad.
I think it's going to be so bad that we wish we had never gone into the theater.
Probably.
Are you ready?
No. I was ready as well. We go in this together.
You want to know how much I'm regretting going in here? We could have seen Despicable Me 3, and I wish that we're in that theater. But instead... Fuck! Why did we reserve seats?
I don't know. Where did we go?
We're the only ones in here.
You have to send me emojis that represent how this movie made you feel. I'm gonna send you mine.
Okay.
Okay.
Is there an emoji for prescription medicine?
There's a pill. Do you need the pill emoji?
That's the emojis that represent how you feel about this movie?
No, I just wanted to send you that. Because it looks so retarded.
What's the pill emoji?
Oh my god, baby. Do I have to find you the emoji?
Doesn't matter, I already know what I need to do. You get it because I'm contemplating death.
He did the wrong face!
Look who just sent me a text.
Addie McAllister?
What should I say?
Just play it cool.
Welcome to the world inside your phone, where everyone is expected to act one way their whole life.
Aw, snap! Ow.
June, I'm mad. I'm angry that we even have to fucking review this movie. I'm fucking pissed that this movie even fucking exists. This is Sony. What you put us in a fucking awkward position here, Sony. You make shitty movie after shitty movie after shitty movie, most of them with Adam Sandler in them for some reason. As fucking movie reviewers, we're forced to keep reviewing these fucking things. And nobody watches the reviews because everybody already knows the movies are shit and nobody goes to see them. This is not fair. This is not how a reciprocal relationship is supposed to work. I mean, look at the fucking scores on fucking Rotten Tomatoes. This movie was at 0% for all fucking weekend and then all of a sudden shot up to 6 because a few people went on and went, the animation's good. Of course the animation's good. The only people that are even involved in your productions that are worth any amount of money at all are all behind the scenes people. Anybody that's involved in script writing, in fucking acting, in fucking any form of direction, they always suck. It always sucks. There's like a plot, but why does it exist? Like, look at the fucking shit that people are saying on fucking Rotten Tomatoes. Abandon all hope, ye who enter here. Please, never again. I don't think I can say anything funny about this because it makes me want to die.
These are actual critics.
Hear that? It's the end of the world. There were children in the theater with us, and they did not respond to almost anything.
No kids laughed.
Kids laughed at the stupid squirrel movie preview.
Yeah.
With Amy Poehler's husband as the squirrel. What's his name?
I don't know.
Obviously, this is going to be a spoiler review.
I don't think anybody cares if we spoil this.
Do not watch this movie.
Oh yeah, don't.
I was hoping that it would be so bad it's funny.
It's just bad.
It literally makes you want to just die right there.
Suicide Squad was the type of bad where it's funny because it's just
At
bad
points.
to me. This was bad in a way that you can't even mock it just because it was just a god-awful, predictable, generic, cookie-cutter, awkward, stupid, unfunny,
Yeah, it started
awful, god-awful,
It started
disgusting, pathetic.
I'll be over here if you need me.
I hate it. Alright, go on.
It started off almost promising. There was actually a joke at the very beginning about emoticons being elderly, and one of them, like, they fell, and one of them was like, oh, my colon! But then literally every single thing that happens after that is just makes you wonder why this movie exists. Every single direction choice, every single production choice is lowest common denominator.
Not even that, it's like lower than dirt.
It's basically like Food Fight. You know the movie Food Fight that was the movie that never was, and then for some reason they still made it and released it. Food Fight was like an advertisement for food products. In the same way the Emoji Movie was an advertisement for apps. The YouTube app, the Facebook app, the Twitter app.
Just Dance app?
Just Dance app.
Dance?
And then what else was there? Dropbox.
The Candy Crush part was the most blatant like product placement I've ever seen in my life. They kept saying Candy Crush. They were like, it's Candy Crush. We're in Candy Crush. We're playing Candy Crush. Like, we get it.
Where am I?
Candy Crush. Divine. Sweet. Tasty. Delicious.
We get it.
Every single scene is set up the same way. They walk into an app and they're like, we have to do this thing. And then all of a sudden the game or whatever of the app starts to play, and then they have to defeat the app to get through it. And that happens every time.
They literally play like these fucking mobile games. Like, we watch a movie of people using mobile games, basically.
Every single time that a pun or a gag, they weren't even jokes. They were puns and gags.
They were puns about the type of emojis they are, constantly.
Right.
The hand, oh my god. Okay, so there's a hand emoji. He's one of the, like, main characters, right? There was a billion puns about him. Take my hand. You are a hand. Give me a hand.
Every single time they did one of these gags, they went for the most obvious joke possible, to the point where they were like dad jokes. Like one or two of those at the beginning to set up the world is fine, but they never stopped throughout the entire movie. Everything was a gag about how everybody's an emoji. And there was no fucking internal consistency within the logic of the universe. The premise is that the main character is supposed to be a meh, and he can do other facial expressions and have other emotions. And that's like a bad thing. But so does like literally every other fucking emoji. They all, even the girl character that comes and ends up being like the main character, she has like a bajillion emotions. So does the hand guy. What was the point of him like having to be deleted because he could do other emotions?
I can't even explain it. It was so generically like ham-fisted. Be yourself. Express yourself. It's okay to be yourself. Did we mention it's okay to be yourself? Express yourself. Did we mention it's okay to be yourself? Like, that's the whole movie. And it's like for, not even for idiots, it's for like people. This movie is for...
Baby, I'm bleeping that.
This movie is for... This movie is for... I'm not even like, I'm not even... Actually, no, that's insulting to actually people. Honestly, and not because I said the word but because this movie is so fucking bad that not even people will like this movie.
My name is Gene, and I'm supposed to be a meh. You know, like, meh, who cares? But my problem is, I have more than one emotion.
Check this out. Son, please tell me you weren't laughing just now.
When the previews came up, one of the previews was Cineplex Odeon asking, doing interviews of the cast. One of the people they interviewed was Patrick Stewart, Captain Jean-Luc Picard, and you could tell that they don't give a fuck about the movie at all. And the Cineplex Odeon guy's like, so how'd you prepare for this role? Patrick Stewart plays shit. He plays the shit emoji in this movie. His answer was I've been preparing for this role my entire life. Nobody fucking cares about this movie. Nobody cared about it. You could tell that not a single person involved in the production, the acting, or the direction of this movie gave two fucks about it. And you can tell because of how lazy everything is. The plot is super cookie cutter. Every cliche you've ever seen in a Hollywood movie.
Every one of them. It hit every single cliche.
He even had the thing where his dad was disappointed in him, and then it turned out, just like in fucking Teen Wolf, his dad was the same thing as him, and oh my god, they relate.
There were so many awkward...
This movie fucking ripped off Teen Wolf.
There were so many awkward parts of this movie that were just like uncomfortable. And not even like cringe funny, but just like, what? Like, remember that one scene? So there's this one scene where both of, what was his name? Gene? The emoji, the main emoji guy, Gene, his parents are looking for him in the app world, And all of a sudden they get into this like awkward fight where they basically divorce. And she's like, "You're not the emoji I married." And then the scene ends. Remember that? The scene fucking abruptly ends. There was an obscure Japanese app that they mentioned, and it was clearly only there because they needed to promote it. They probably got money from it. And it was that first one, the messages where all of them are cute little puppies.
The stamps.
Yeah,
Right.
so that was some obscure app that many people in the US or Canada or whatever probably don't even know about. So it was super obvious it was only there just to be like, "Hey guys, this app is in a movie, buy it." Like, oh my god.
But it was kawaii as fuck.
It was pretty cute. It was cute.
In the movie, I saw 3 different 100s, and I saw one okay sign. So, thanks Emoji Movie for representing my meme. Thanks.
What if you get sent out on the phone making the wrong face?
Dad, I'll make the right face. Then I would finally fit in.
Sweetie, you're so handsome when you make that face. I think he's ready, Mel.
Meh.
Okay, so we need to talk about the main character.
We don't really.
Yeah, we fucking do. The meh emoji, played by T.J. Miller. T.J. Miller, he usually plays bit parts. I don't know how he ended up being the main character other than I guess he sounds kind of meh when he talks. I guess he sounds like a fucking stoner, so he
sure.
sort of sounds sort of meh. When he was being interviewed, he said, "Oh, you know, the main character, you know, is really interesting. You really root for him. Things don't really go his way, but then it all works out in the end." That's his description. That was his description of the movie.
He's like, "I really related to this character, you know."
He has made some very strange claims about what this movie is about and what it will do. June, would you do the honors of reading this
Just delicious.
article for me, please?
Okay, so
You're gonna love this.
fucking a few days before we saw the Emoji Movie, all of a sudden this beautiful article comes out, and it just skyrocketed my desire to see this movie, because you all know me. If you're an audience or a friendo of me, you know that I have a strange obsession with cringe. I enjoy it. I enjoy subjecting myself to it. I'm a bit of a masochist for cringe. Actor insists Emoji Movie will fight Trump and make young people adopt progressive values. I was like, oh buddy, this gonna be good.
He wasn't even joking.
The movie has a lot to say to women, and how they have limitless potential, and one of the characters literally breaks through a glass ceiling.
Does she?
I don't even remember. Maybe.
So there's 2 times when feminism comes up in this movie, and they're both like entry-level basic bitch fucking feminist statements that I heard on like BuzzFeed and Tumblr like 5 years ago.
This was the most ham-fisted feminism I've seen in anything ever. And thank God we didn't leave. We were planning to walk out.
Yeah, we were
of
actually,
the theater.
I'm not gonna lie to you guys, we were gonna walk out after the first act.
we weren't gonna
and
do
just
this.
pretend that we saw the whole thing and then just like rant about it, but thank God we decided to stay.
They say something, I don't even remember, because my mind, I think everything blacked out of my mind.
They were arguing about what the next step should be.
Okay, and then he comes up with something. Oh, she comes up with something, then he comes up with something. She says, "Men are always taking credit for the ideas women are coming up with," and walks away. And me and Greg, like, I'm squeezing him, like.
Like literally, when the fuck does that happen? What the fuck was that supposed to be?
And what
Like,
was that? It
and
was like out of left
It came
field.
completely out of nowhere. It was so unnecessary.
I was like, okay, so this is the breaking glass ceiling.
No,
they're
my
talking
favorite
about?
one though was the second one. And if you're a fan of Shoe on Head, she did a video on this, so you'll probably recognize this subject matter.
There was this huge campaign that was all about making emojis more inclusive for women, because apparently the yellow smiley faces were all men.
Yeah, I didn't know that either.
They're all mainly pink. Or, yeah, that's pretty much it. They're pink or like a girl.
She's complaining that they are wearing pink. You are wearing pink!
I've got rock climbing, biking, playing basketball, and the girls are doing this.
Emojis. What are emojis?
I don't know, like those things people tweet, like the okay sign and the 100, 100, 100.
they're not gendered, they're androgynous. Like they're ambiguous figures that are just random people. But apparently, if there aren't ones that are specifically women, then it's sexist somehow.
Like this was in the fucking scene where they're like quiet. This is like the one scene where everything calms down.
This is the scene where you're supposed to be learning about her.
They're just sitting there quietly and she goes, Jean, before the second update of emojis, women could only be princesses and brides. I was like, are they actually talking about that fucking emoji campaign shit? Like, is this why they made the movie? It was just be like...
Well, I considered that. I think it was more just when they made the movie, they wanted it because, you know, it's 2017 and fucking feminism's and everything, so they had to have a feminist moment. And I think that when they were looking into the history of emojis, that probably popped up. So I'm betting that what had happened is they just made reference to it because they were probably expecting feminists to give a fuck about that. So I don't think that they made the movie because of that, but they certainly at some point realized that, hey, feminists care about emojis because feminists care about the stupidest shit ever. So we got to make sure there's a thing about having not enough female emojis in the fucking emoji app.
Like, I'm so sorry this is feminism now. The girl emoji, she kept going like, princesses don't sing to animals. That's a stereotype. And then at the end, she like saves them by singing and the tweet bird comes down. It's like, what?
So they had one stereotype to defeat and they literally conformed to the stereotype.
Yeah.
That's our user, Alex.
We have an incoming text. We are go for men.
Who, me?
What's he doing?
He's making the wrong face.
Huh?
What the heck?
So there was another thing that happened when, in Tales of Walking into the Theater. I had actually forgotten that it was a Sony movie, and what reminded me was that there was a Hotel Transylvania short film at the beginning. Again, like I said about the Emoji Movie, it's well animated, because everything that Sony produces is well animated, but they're all soulless, nothing, meaningless things. And I got the distinct feeling that that short film only existed because Adam Sandler needed 50 grand for a new car.
Oh, yeah.
Sony will give me a short. And you can just picture Adam Sandler in the sound booth recording his lines for this vampire character with unshaven and like wearing a torn up t-shirt and sweatpants, just like, oh, hello, I am the vampire man. And that's how he reads his lines. And I just knew that we were in for a bad time.
And it was really unfunny and no kids laughed.
No,
the whole Emoji Movie too.
The whole time we were in that theater, there was maybe 2 times total that the children in the theater responded positively to anything that happened on the screen.
Yeah.
And one of the times was in a movie trailer for another fucking movie.
And the other time the kids laughed was when fucking, like, the girl revealed herself to be the princess. Oh, by the way, which I predicted, I whispered to Greg, like, okay, this hacker girl's definitely that missing princess. And then literally the next scene, she's like, oh, the princess. But she was like, oh my God, Janet. And she's like, not now, Mom. And that's the only time the kids laughed.
Right.
I think it's because you hear her real name and it's awkward, like her mom knows her name and she's like, not now, Mom. It's relatable. No one laughed. There were so many puns.
There's like a part where they're in the basement where all the unpopular emojis hang out, and there's a suitcase eating Chinese food with a like Japanese swirl cookie that just keeps laughing, and then like the suitcase like hides the Chinese food inside of the trunk and then accidentally spits it out and the chopsticks stick into the Japanese swirl cookie.
That's the scene.
And I was, this is like, that's how literally every gag happened though. It was like something totally fucking random.
To do with them being whatever object they are.
Completely nonsensical, pointless. 2 emoji characters would stand next to each other facing the camera, and that's how they blocked every scene.
They were never facing each other. Oh God, there was something else. Sorry, my attention span.
All these fresh memories of just having seen this movie aren't just immediately popping into your head?
I blacked out things. Like, you know when you're something so traumatizing, you black it out.
Nothing original, nothing exceptional, nothing surprising, nothing out of
It was
left.
so generic.
Nothing that you would had never seen in a movie before happened in this movie. They played it as safe as humanly possible. Like, one of the references was to the fact that the Pooh is played by Patrick Stewart, and as like the phone is getting deleted and everyone's like disappearing, he's suddenly on a chair and swivels around and says, "Red alert!" That wasn't organic. That wasn't clever. It wasn't surprising. It was as if an idiot had thought of the idea and said, "Let's do it," and wrote it down, and nobody caught it. And somehow Patrick Stewart recorded that scene. Somehow the animators animated it. Somehow the director left it in, and the editor kept it and spliced it into the scene as if it was intentional, and nobody realized that the town fool had written it in the script. That's how it landed.
I saw him like shrivel up and die. Like, I saw his soul come out of his body, and I was just like, I'm so sorry they're doing this to your Star Trek. And then he comes home and he's watching Star Trek, and I point to Patrick Stewart and I was like, hey, isn't that the guy from the Emoji Movie? He's like, we're breaking up, get out.
You know, Patrick Stewart, I love you, buddy. And you basically have a get out of jail free card for being Captain Jean-Luc Picard. But man, you are really pushing it. You're really pushing it by associating with IP like this. Come on, man, like you can only go so far before your immunity runs out. Make better life choices, Patrick Stewart, please. You don't need the money that bad. I will pay you. I'll fucking fire June. I will pay you to sit right here with me. Whatever the Emoji Movie gave you, I'll fucking sustain you. I don't care. I'll make it work. I'll take out loans. I'll buy a house and then I'll get 4 mortgages on it. I'll do whatever it takes. Just please, sir, please stop being in fucking horrible shit. Get your life together. I mean, you only have so many years left. Please die with fond memories.
Please die.
Fresh in our minds. And not with, hey, the last thing I saw him in, he was a fucking piece of shit.
You want to imagine something dark? What if this is his last movie?
That's what I'm saying, man. Don't.
I hope not. Let's not jinx that. Please make another movie right now. Right now.
Welcome to the Loser Lounge, where the emojis who never get used hang out.
What's up, High Five?
I'm an emoji. I've got to have some sort of purpose here.
I'm gonna help you. We need to get off the phone and find the source code.
Then I can fit in.
Let's roll, my Felicia.
How about the use of music in this movie?
The normie-ass music that ever normied.
And it would kind of just randomly start, and characters would be randomly dancing to it, and then the song would just randomly end, and it was as if it didn't even need to happen at all.
That's this entire movie, is as if it didn't even need
the
to happen
movie
at
even
all.
ended on a, we don't know how to end this, let's do a choreographed dance number at the end.
Yeah.
Like every cliche ever, I can't stress this enough. Not a single original thing happened.
He leaned over and he was just like, you always do this to me. You say the funniest shit. I know something's gonna come out of your mouth when you go like this. I'm like, oh God, what is he gonna say? He's like, I wanna say they stopped trying, but they didn't even try in the first place. That was so funny.
Yeah, that was the ultimate, like, we've given up.
I think this movie was literally like, hey, what do kids like? Emojis. Let's make a movie about emojis. All right, what's gonna happen? Well, emojis make faces, so he struggles to make the correct face, and he has a bad fucking relationship with his father.
But unlike Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, it turns out that his very shiny nose is a good thing, and it saves the day in the end. Oh wait, that's exactly like fucking Rudolph.
Well, it's exactly like fucking everything ever.
The only scene that happens where the music makes any sense is the Dance Dance Revolution scene, when they literally have to dance their way out of the app.
I just hated the fact that we had to watch people use apps. That was the movie.
They could have done some clever stuff with this. I like the idea actually where they have to break out of their app and go into other apps. But instead of it being interesting adventures they go on, it is just
like Wreck-It Ralph.
We're now in YouTube. We now are watching YouTube videos. We are now in Dance Dance. So now we dance.
We are in Candy Crush. We play Candy Crush.
There was nothing clever about it, and when they were done that task, it was just like it was done, and they were in a new thing.
Irrelevant. It's like the last scene was irrelevant.
There was no, just everything is an obstacle. Nothing is actually driving the plot. Everything is actually in the way of the plot. Christina Aguilera played the Dance Dance Revolution girl. One of the things that was happening was the kid that owned the phone that they were on, he was getting pissed off that this emoji kid, emoji main character guy, every time he was in a new app.
Fuck, you're explaining the plot and I just hate it.
The kid could hear the kid could hear what they were doing on the app, so he could hear the Dance Dance Revolution playing. So as that's happening, he deletes the app while they're in it. Christina Aguilera, she gets deleted, and then when they're rescuing the high five guy from the trash can, she's in there with a bunch of like internet trolls. One of the first things that they do when they get out of the emoji app is they go to this hidden files app that the kid has so he can hide stuff from his parents. And it's filled with all sorts of like internet cliches like Trojan horse and viruses and internet trolls. Oh, and a spam thing. So the internet trolls, you said the most like obvious non-insulting insults ever.
And the best part was when the hand guy escapes the internet trolls, he's like,
escapes.
What?
Escapes.
What did I say?
Escapes.
When he escapes?
Continue, honey.
When the hand guy escapes.
When the hand guy escapes, he goes, "See, trolls, you were wrong. People do love me, and I'm not upset. See how not upset I am?"
Do you get it?
Like, could you fucking hand fist it
Do you get it?
any harder? Like, don't be upset at trolls, kids.
Do you get it?
Just know that people love you. Adam Sandler might as well have jumped onto the screen in his fucking sweatpants and his unshaven beard and it would have been like, "Don't let trolls get to you, kids. People love you." And then it would have went away and it would have made just as much sense and would have been just as natural.
I think you're pretty cool just the way you are.
Adam Sandler is basically like the mascot of Sony by this point. I mean, basically everything that Sony makes that I hate, I basically just blame on Adam Sandler now.
Yeah, when the Sony logo popped up.
The kind of shit planning and complete disregard for what the audience thinks and likes, and basically tossing that all away in favor of just making mad cash by selling bare bones basic lowest common denominator project to just the masses, to an audience that you don't understand at all. What you think are just popcorn shoveling imbeciles is basically what Sony thinks their audience is. And they don't care if they make a good movie. They don't care. And the fact that they would even bring on the Emoji IP at all is proof of that. I thought when I saw the Emoji fucking movie trailer for the first time, I thought it was a spoof.
Me too!
I thought they were gonna be making fun of how cookie cutter movies are these days, and they were gonna like be fucking, it was like a joke about how Hollywood doesn't give a fuck about audiences anymore, and just will literally make a movie out of anything that people recognize on any level, and it literally was exactly that thing.
We thought this was going to be a parody when we saw this. We were like, oh, hey, they're doing that like self-aware funny thing where they're like, hey, look how stupid animation's getting. They just make movies about fucking anything. Nope! Not self-aware whatsoever. The Emoji Movie is basically Wreck-It Ralph, but done completely wrong, unfunny, and uncreative.
I think we had this conversation already. It's not so much like Wreck-It Ralph, it's more like a food fight where it's like...
No, it's exactly like Wreck-It Ralph. They go into different apps and they're in that world and they're exploring a phone instead of video games.
Do you want to know the difference then between Wreck-It Ralph and this though? Is how they're not really comparable. There's like real video game characters in that movie, right?
Yeah.
The thing is that there's a culture behind those things already. So like when Wreck-It Ralph goes to like a racing game that exists and they have to follow the rules of that racing game, there's a culture of people that play games like that would respond and would recognize that.
Yeah.
There's no fucking emoji culture beyond fucking high school students use them and people on Twitter that are very bad at being funny use almost exclusively emojis to describe everything. Yeah. Same thing with Roger Rabbit. Like you got that feeling with Roger Rabbit is they were using real characters from Warner Brothers and real characters from Disney, and there was already like a fan base for those things, and it was like a nostalgic feeling, like it was bringing those things to life. The Emoji Movie, it does nothing clever with any of the shit. They just have to play the app when they get to the app. There's no like exploration of the culture. There's no like clever exploration of each emoji or each character. There's nothing new. There's nothing about it that makes you go, oh, I've never thought of that way before. It's just, oh, I know that. I've seen that before.
I even caught myself pointing to an emoji to you. I was like, I know that one. It was the 100. I was like, oh.
When the princess calls for a bird to come rescue her, and it's the Twitter bird.
It's like, oh, I know
the only
that
thing is like,
logo.
oh, I know that.
I know that logo.
I know that logo.
I use that.
There was nothing about Twitter though. It was just the Twitter bird.
Yeah.
And the YouTube. When the meh parents go into the YouTube app, they go into the YouTube app. And some random video that's clearly not a real YouTube video. It's just some guy in a crazy, like, ethnic-y looking kind of dress in front of a white background, and it's him doing a goofy dance. And the point is, it's supposed to be funny, and like on its own, it's got a certain level of humor to it. It doesn't add to the scene. It kind of makes you remember what good things are for a minute. Yeah. But then the scene itself continues to happen despite that. And there's these like bots that are following them trying to delete the meh kid. To throw these bots off, they turn on that viral video of the kitten.
Make that viral.
Yeah, turn that into a fucking GIF. Internet?
No, don't.
I'm gonna be internet famous.
Oh.
So the mum meh. Fucking hate myself that I had to say that.
I know, what the hell? Did you ever think those words would ever come out of your mouth?
The mother meh and the father meh. To throw them off, they turn that video on of the kitten getting tickled, and the robots are just watching it going, Why? Why would that happen?
It is thing we know.
Everything happens because it's a thing people know.
Yep.
That's it.
That's it. It's a recognizable thing.
It's not clever. It's not new. It's not into it. I'm done. You know what? I'm done. This movie sucks. Fuck you. Don't watch this shit.
Yeah, don't see it.
Fuck you, Sony, for making this fucking horse shit.
It's bad. Bye.
There's only so many ways I can say that there's nothing new in this movie.
Are we actually done?
Yeah, we're done.
Okay. Wow.
Thank you for watching. If you like what you saw and you'd like to see more Armoured Media, please like, comment, and subscribe. If you absolutely love us, you can support us on Patreon, or if you have a passing affection for us, you can buy our merch. Links are in the description.